Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Taylor Lauren here, and here on my channel I talk about my life as a beauty queen, as a wife, and as a mama. So if that content interests y'all, then just keep on watching. And I haven't really come up with anything, so I'm just gonna girl chat with y'all. And today we're going to be talking about redefining luxury when you become a mom, when you enter that season of life of motherhood, especially when it's real new and you're in the thick of it, like, the first 2 years of motherhood, redefining luxury and what that means to you. Because everything changes when you become a mom. Your body, your mind, your dreams, everything changes. And with such a quick and abrupt change, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not the biggest fan of change. I'm very much routine. I like things to be how they are, as far as like my life and my routines and the things that work for me. And your routines change when you become a mom. And think about it, how the transition worked for me, how the thought process worked for me, is when you are not even a single woman, but when you are a woman who does not have kids, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're married or whatever, when you're a woman who does not have kids, you have your routine. You have the things that you like. You go to the nail salon ever so often. You go to the hair salon ever so often. You have your Starbucks routine. You have the things that you like. You have a certain way of how you like your home to be and how you like peace to be present in your home. You have had so many years of becoming a woman and putting in so much time and energy and effort into how you like your life to look, how you like your home to be, how you like to look physically, how you like your routines to be in place in your life. Like, do y'all see what I'm saying? And when you become a mom, you have to start over and rebuild all of those routines and all of the things that you like and all of the things that happen in your life around this child. And it makes you feel like, damn, all of this work and all of these years of building my life and the things that I like and the things that I do on a routine, all of it was a waste of time, because now it all has to change. And it took me forever to build this life before children, and now I have to start over and rebuild it now that my child is here. And I just don't know if it's worth rebuilding, so I'm just going to wing it. And I'm not gonna be able to shower. I'm not gonna be able to go to the hair salon. I'm not gonna be able to go to the nail salon. I'm not gonna be able to do Starbucks. I'm not going to be able to sleep. And it's just it just makes it seem like there are all of these things that you no longer get to do and all of these things that you have to sacrifice. And I'm here to tell you, it's not true. It's not the case. It's not that you'll never be able to do these things again. You just have to do them in moderation, and you have to do them differently now that you are a mom. You can still have a good life and a luxurious life as a mom. You just have to redefine what luxury looks like for you as a mom. So let's get into that. Okay, y'all, one of the biggest things that I will say, I've always wanted to be a mom, and I feel like I was very prepared for motherhood, because before becoming a mom, as y'all know, as I've said a million times on my channel, I was a nanny for 10 years before I became a mom. So I was prepared for breastfeeding. I was prepared for the lack of sleep. I was prepared for the transitions and the diapering and the swaddling and all that kind of stuff. Like, when I already knew, before I was pregnant, I already knew the type of baby cam that I wanted. I already knew the type of stroller that I wanted. I just, there were so many things that I was already familiar with. I knew what type of birth I already had an idea for my birth plan. I already knew that I wanted a doula. I already was educated on various like birth positions and insurance providers and all of that, because my job was to assist women who were going through these, preparations and, life changes. I would go to work and I would get babies and take them to their mom so the mom could breastfeed. And I would talk to the moms that I worked with about, the different nursing bras that they had and what type of bottles they were using and what level nipple the baby was on and meal prepping. And I would go with them, to shop for diapers and strollers and car seats and some. I've even went to birthing classes with some of the moms that I've worked for. So what most moms are doing as they're pregnant, I was doing that like for years before I became pregnant, and that is a blessing for me. I know that that was a privilege and an advantage, and I just feel like that type of thing should be more ingrained in our society for not just young women, but for people in general at an early age. I am really a big component of bringing home economics back into our school systems here in America, because I feel like everyone should know how to change a diaper, not just parents, but everyone should know how to change a diaper. And it's nothing wrong with learning how to change a diaper when you become a parent, but if you can know about it sooner, why not? And just think about it, like if you see a new mom in a grocery store and her baby's crying their head off, and she's trying to get her cart out and bag the groceries, and it just feels very chaotic and she's very overstimulated. Just imagine if you could help her and be like, hey, do you need some help? Do you want me to, rock your baby or change your baby for you while you get this taken care of? Or do you want me to take care of this for you while, you take a moment to change your baby? Like, I just feel like our world would be so much better if more people were educated on how to help parents and moms sooner. And if people were educated on more childcare before they became parents. But that makes sense. That was my little rant. But the biggest difference for me when becoming a mom was it, and I knew this, but I didn't know it, until I was in the thick of it. Motherhood is not something that you can turn off. And when I was a nanny, it was my job. That was my 9 to 4:30, 9 to 5 job. I would go take care of these children, be in love with them, watch them grow, help these families build relationships with moms and dads. And I would clock out and I would come home and get to live my, single childless life, okay? But when I had my daughter, Blair, there was no clocking in and out. It was not something that I could turn off. And that, for me, that was the biggest difference in becoming a mom. And I started to notice that the things that I would normally do for myself that I enjoyed, that were my form of self-care and luxury, so to speak, I just didn't have the time and the energy and sometimes the money to do them. And I was like, okay, it doesn't have to be this way, but I'm not sure how I can build back up to implementing my luxuries into my life again, if that makes sense. So I want to share with y'all examples of things that I have done over my 2 years of motherhood to still feel luxurious and to still feel happy and to still feel beautiful and to just still feel like I have an identity and a sense of luxury outside of being a mom. So I'm just going to give you guys examples. If you just feel like you haven't been able to do anything for yourself, I just really want to encourage you to shift your mindset, sis. It's not about your life ending or not being able to do anything anymore or never being able to go to the hair salon or the nail salon or Starbucks or the spa or whatever luxury means to you. It's not about not being able to do those things anymore. You may not be able to do them for a little bit, for a season, especially if you're like a brand new breastfeeding mom and your kid is cluster feeding or something like that. But it's just about redefining and figuring out how you can still do these things, but maybe do them in a different way. Maybe do them less, maybe do them in moderation. Maybe do some things of yourself, and then pay for and schedule appointments for the bigger things that maybe mean more to you, or that you really just want someone to serve and cater to you for. So let's get into it. Okay, y'all, so one thing that I did religiously before becoming a mom is I would go get waxed once a month. And that was like just everything for me. I am very hairy, and when I walked out the waxing salon, I just felt like a new, beautiful, like hairless woman. I loved it. That was my thing. And obviously, as I became more pregnant, it became more painful. I would get a full body wax except for my arms, and I would get my nose waxed as well. And as I became more pregnant, it just became more painful. And then after I gave birth and I was feeling better, I just didn't have the time. And I was just like, I'm never, you have certain things that like make you feel beautiful, and if those things aren't getting done, you feel hideous. Like for me, if I'm hairy and if I don't have my earrings on, like if I don't have earrings on, I feel like naked, I feel hideous. And if I'm super duper hairy, I'm just like, I'm a werewolf woman. Like it just, you just, as a woman, you have the things that like make you feel beautiful. And for me, those are the two things, right? And I was just like, I don't know if like I'm gonna be able to do this. Like I don't want to use razors. It's just like super annoying. My skin can get like very sensitive. And like I expressed this to my husband because it was affecting like my interaction with him and everything. And I was just like, I don't have time to go out and like wait and you know, get waxed. And I can't take Blair in the waxing salon because a lot of these, you know, luxury services, when you go to the hair salon, when you go to the nail salon, when you go get waxed, some of the places may not, you know, allow children or whatever. So it's not like I could take her like during nap time and go, because my waxing salon didn't allow it. So y'all, I was just like really hairy. I did not want to use a razor. And I was just like, I don't know like when I'm going to be able to do this again. And I expressed that to my husband, y'all. And for, I think it was last Christmas, he bought me a waxing pot. And so I've been meaning to do a review on it. I'm actually out of wax, and y'all, I have actually gone back to using the razor a few times. I'll use the razor on my legs and I'll use it on my underarms, but I will not use it on my bikini area. Because over time, it's just something that I've been like, hey, it needs to get done, it needs to get done, right? But my husband got me a waxing pot, and I've been waxing myself at home, and it's just been, I honestly love it more because, you know, if you get waxed, you have like your wax girl that you prefer to wax you. And if someone new does it, or if someone, you know, doesn't rip your wax the right way, or if they're too heavy handed with like tweezers, or if they're using tweezers at all, if you don't like tweezers, you can just, it's a very particular beauty treatment, right? And so now I can wax myself at home the way I like to do it. I can spread it out if I need to. Like if I wax, if I do like half my body while Blair's taking her nap, and then I spend an hour after she goes down after bed to finish up, it just offers me more flexibility as a toddler mom. And I love it. I have like just been so enjoying exploring different waxes for different things. And now I have like a favorite wax that I like to use, that I like better than the waxing salon that I was going to. So it's just been really fun for me. I'm also a person like, if I was like really more so into math and sciences, and if I was like better at that, I would have truly gone into dermatology. Like I love Dr. Pimple Popper. I'm that person that's scrolling on social media, watching people pop their pimples, watching people pull ingrown hairs, and waxing kind of gives me that same enjoyment. So I've been experimenting with like different waxes and different waxing techniques and everything, and different follow-up treatments and exfoliation treatments, and it has just been really enjoyable for me. And that is one of the ways that I have redefined luxury for me as someone who likes to go get waxed. Instead of going to the waxing salon, I have started waxing myself at home with a waxing pot that my husband bought for me, because it's more convenient for me, and because I can do it in the comfort of my home while my daughter is having her downtime, and I don't have to worry about finding a sitter for her, or you know, waiting for my husband to get home, and waiting for him to have downtime in his schedule so that I can go have a waxing appointment. I can do it while she's here at home napping, after she goes down for bed, you know, and I don't have to be trying to rush and scramble to get to the waxing salon before they close and all that kind of stuff. So it's just been honestly more enjoyable for me. I probably will never go back to the waxing salon because I have a waxing pot and I can do it from the comfort of my home now. So that's one example. The next example is nails. Again, like waxing, before I became a mom, I was in the nail salon once a month with SNS, and my husband would pick out my color, and it would be so cute. And y'all, since having Blair's about to be 2, I haven't been to the nail salon since she was born, except for this past Mother's Day 2023. Outside of that, I haven't been to the nail salon. And I told myself anyway that when she was born, I probably wasn't gonna go get SNS for a year anyway, because I didn't want to be clawing at her, and she was born in winter. She had a small case of eczema. I just didn't want to be clawing at her and whatever. But I told myself that, and I would do, my nails at home. But probably around 6 months of her being born, I started having a desire to, just be catered to and go to the nail salon. And I just, again, like the dermatology and the waxing, I love nail care. I don't know if y'all used to watch Isabella DeMarco, OG YouTube, way back in the day when her channel was completely dedicated to her nail care. I loved her channel back then. And so, yeah, that's just something that I feel like I had to sacrifice, but now I am redefining. Now that Blair is older, she's becoming a little more feminine. She's really paying attention to my nails now, and bracelets and jewelry and things like that. So I actually think that is something that I may be able to do with her soon. But I also want to make sure that I'm being intentional about my beauty treatments and being intentional about my daughter seeing me be intentional about being feminine and what mommy likes and what makes mommy feel pretty, so that she can start to define that for herself, if that makes sense. She's been more curious about my hair and my jewelry and my nails and things like that. So it is really making me excited to kind of show my definition of femininity and luxury to my daughter, so that she can start to figure out what that means to her. And I will say this as well. I've always been a girl that has been capable of doing her own hair and nails, and capable of doing her own skincare and taking care of her own body. And if you don't know how to do that, it's important that you do, girl. And I think if anything, COVID taught us that. You need to be able to do your own hair, your own nails, your own skincare, take care of your own skin. But I completely understand sometimes just wanting to be catered to and wanting someone else to do it. I get that. And I've always been a person who knew how to do my nails and my hair and stuff. So when I had Blair, and I was okay, I'm not going to go to the nail salon for a year because my nails grow super fast and I get SNS and I don't want to be clawing at her and everything. So up until since then, I've done my nails at home. I have a manicure set, I have my nail polish and everything like that. So they kind of need to be done now, but I've always done my nails at home and I've been capable of doing that. But now I'm kind of getting to the point where I want to start going back to the nail salon, but something that I've done to redefine that for myself until I'm able to do that and kind of have my fun money in our budget for that, is I set aside my nail days. So on Fridays I exfoliate and I do my nails and I do my facials. Saturday I shave, Sunday I do my hair. So that's kind of my weekend routine for my beauty, and I just make it relaxing for myself. I have the sugar scrub that I love. I have the nail tools that I love, and I just do everything at home for the most part as far as my beauty and my luxury. And I just make it relaxing for me. And if I'm too tired of doing it, one day, sometimes Friday I'll do a pedicure, and then maybe I'll switch my manicure to Saturday or Saturday morning or something like that. So yeah, I'm redefining it by making it luxurious to do it at home. So I have like I said, sugar scrubs that I like, tools that I like, things like that. I put on a little music, because I don't necessarily have the time to get to a nail salon, and I also don't have those consistent funds within our budget quite yet. We're still working on having fun money for Corey and having fun money for myself. But right now we have everything that we need, and that's the most important thing, and we're working on having things that we want. So that's that. That's how I have redefined like not being able to go to the nail salon since becoming a mom, if that makes sense. Next thing is alone time. It's not often that I am in my house by myself, and when I am, I'm working and I'm doing things like this, like filming. Blair is in school 2 days a week, and that's typically the time that I take to work on my hopes and my dreams and my YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff. But just being in the house and doing nothing, I haven't been able to do that in a long time. So how I'm redefining that is I'm just appreciating the little moments that I have, and I'm being very upfront with my husband and saying, hey, I need 30 minutes, or hey, I just need 20 minutes. And because Blair is with me most of the time, she notices when I'm not around, and she will come looking for me. So my husband has to be very intentional with doing an activity with her that is distracting, because you don't always want to leave your house to have peace. Like, I don't always want to have to go to Starbucks for quiet time, or to sit in my car for quiet time, or what have you. And sometimes it gets that real, y'all. So yeah, just by not having as much alone time as I did, just being very verbal and intentional when I do need that alone time. And then in the evenings now, like when Corey comes home after he gives Blair a bath and puts her to bed like around 7-8, we have like 30 minutes to an hour by ourselves. Like, he'll be in the living room, I'll be in our room, and that's just like our hour to ourselves, doing nothing or whatever we want to do before we come together for husband and wife time. And that has been like ritual for us, very routine. And you know, that's something that I've redefined, just appreciating the little moments that you have to yourself as a mom, because it's very rare that you have alone time. Okay, something else that I feel like I've had to redefine that has been like a big noticeable change for me, it's like the small things that make the biggest difference, is shopping alone. Whether it's at the grocery store or if I'm shopping for something for myself or what have you, I don't really shop alone. Blair is with me most of the time. And the moments, the real moments that I will make like a nightly grocery run or whatever, and if I'm alone, I milk the heck out of that alone shopping trip, y'all. Like, a 30-minute shopping trip at night will turn into like an hour and a half for me, just because I enjoy being able to shop alone in the store and not having to like be counting down the minutes until Blair has a meltdown because she has reached her limit of getting bored in the store, or sitting in the buggy, or having to wait, or not being able to get the item that she wants in the store. Like, when I go shopping with my daughter, I have to be very intentional about what we're in there to get. And I have to be very intentional about her having distractions, about her having toys, about her having like TV to watch on my phone or whatever. I cannot go in there for more than like 5 items, because I have to be able to push the buggy, carry her out of the buggy, and then carry the groceries or the items that I'm getting in one trip. And I know we have like 30 minutes tops to get in and out. If there's a busy line, if self-checkout is not empty, I will turn right back around and I will just make that trip later that evening after she goes to bed and my husband is home with her. And a lot of the times I don't want to shop at night because I'm tired and it's the end of my day. So when I do make those rare nightly shopping trips, I, try not to think about how tired I am, and I just relish in the fact that I don't have to worry about a toddler breaking down and getting bored and throwing a tantrum in the store. So yeah, and things get easier as your kids get older. Like, now that Blair is in school, I have a little bit more free time. Next year she'll be in school more, I'll have more free time. Obviously it'll change and it'll start all over again if we decide to have another child. But yeah, the alone time is definitely, or the shopping alone and the alone time are definitely luxuries that I have had to redefine and and milk and utilize to the best of my ability. And the last thing that I have for y'all is I have had to redefine what beauty and my attire and my aesthetic mean to me. And I have had to simplify them. And I'm realizing as a mom and as a wife and just in my style and the type of woman that I want to be and the type of beauty and style that I want to exude, that less is truly more. Before I became a mom, I had lots of clothes, lots of jewelry. I thought I was a pretty minimal person. I had a bunch of heels. I didn't go out a lot, but I was always, dressed like a pageant girl, honestly. And I mean, there are times where I think I'm pretty chill overall, but I definitely loved products. I loved clothes. I loved bags. I loved shoes. I loved skincare, and I just had kind of all of these things. And when you become a mom, you have to be decisive. You have to be intentional. You don't really have the time or the energy and sometimes the money to try things out. You have to stick with what you know, and you have to do what works for you while still making you feel, great. And I have just condensed, and I've done things that are simple. And I've started doing things that are simple and that work for me. I don't have a lot of skincare. I have been using olive oil lately for everything, as a moisturizer, as a lotion. I use it in my hair. My attire has significantly condensed and changed. I'm all about matching sets. My earrings are studs. I just have simple wavy kind of messy hair with a headband. With a headband. It's just I have just become more simple overall in my style and in my definition of beauty. I'm trying to articulate it in a better way, but what I can really say is less is more. I don't, and this will change slightly. Like I said, now that Blair is getting older and she's discovering jewelry and everything, but I don't wear a lot of bracelets. I did just recently buy 2 silver and 2 gold bracelets to interchange, but once those come in, that'll be all that I'm wearing. But I'm just not exuding extra and excessiveness, because it's not functional for the season of life that I'm in as a mom. And that doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just an opportunity to redefine and to switch things out. I'm in matching sets all the time because it's easy for me to get dressed in the morning, because I have to dress myself and I have to dress my daughter, and I do not want to be putting time and energy into matching tops and bottoms when I have to get her dressed, get her breakfast, take care of anything that needs to be taken care of around the house, and then get out the door to run errands. I have been able to get my morning routine down to 15 minutes of getting dressed, washing my face, brushing my teeth, fluffing my hair out, putting on maybe just blush and mascara. I don't have any makeup on today, and then going to take care of my daughter. And it's not a sacrifice, because I'm not doing anything that makes me feel less than. I still feel beautiful. I still feel great. I've just had to find ways to condense and simplify, because that's the season of life that I'm in. Obviously, as Blair gets older, it'll change, and I'll have more time. But right now, I am about timeless. I am about simplicity. I am about multi-purposeness, as far as products. Olive oil I can use for a ton of things. So I'm not about to have a face moisturizer and a body cream and a hair serum, because that's just more time in my morning routine. I'm just going to use olive oil for everything because it works, and it's effective, and I still like it. So just little things like that, where you may have to redefine your luxury so that you have more time in your day, so that you have maybe more resources, or you're using less resources. But the important thing is that they still make you feel lovely. You still feel beautiful. And it's just about redefining, y'all. And it's just about moderation and timelessness and just change, and just realizing that it's all for a season. So I hope these things helped. I hope they made sense. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. And just mamas, all the mamas out there, just remember that it's all for a season. And I know it may feel like you're starting over with getting to know yourself as a woman, and in some ways you are, but take it as, you know, an opportunity to fall more in love with yourself as you are entering this new chapter of life. It's not the end. You are still beautiful, you are still lovely, and all of those things. You just have to think about what that looks like now for the season of life that you're in.